Welcome to the Rangers Today Baseball Podcast. From the bus leagues to the big leagues, the Rangers Today Baseball Podcast has got you covered. Here's Jeff and John. Hey, everybody, welcome to the Rangers Today Baseball Podcast. This is episode number 134, and today John Rhadigan is going to join us. Everybody knows John Rhadigan has been a TV personality around here for a long time. He's going to jump on and talk some Rangers baseball, but before that, we need to get into the big league club. They are 59-69 since the last time we've had y'all on. They're 4-6 in their last 10. Still 10.5 games back, which basically we said last week it's over. We're sticking with that. I am. I don't know what Jeff feels. They did win their last game, so then they ended up winning in series.
Well, the team is sticking to it. So that seems to be. It's not just us. The team appears to have settled into the idea that they're not going to make the playoffs. They still want to win games, obviously, and they might. They're professionals. That's the big thing. You're talking about guys who know how to play and respect the game, and who are going to play hard. And maybe you can need to see Wyatt Langford get through this season, get over these dog days, get into the stretch and finish strong. It looks like you're going to see Jack Leiter in the major leagues here sooner than later. And that's a 2025 move. That's now some part of that has to do with Max Scherzer getting scratched from his rehab start tonight and being just still a question mark. John Gray not quite ready yet to pick up a full starter's load. He'll start this weekend in Cleveland, probably Saturday, I think is what Bruce Bochy said, but 3-4 innings max. So there's just some things that are going on. And speaking of things going on, Travis Matthew, the fine clothier, was kind enough to send us some of their MLB line Texas Rangers outfit. So I'm wearing the pullover right now.
I like that.
It's gray. I've got a polo shirt that's at the house and a t-shirt that I'll be modeling for them. But go check out their MLB line. This is a really nice product. It's light. It's good. So yeah. Anyway, back on topic here.
Yeah. Well, listen. Speaking of, you're talking about Jack Leiter might go up. Look, I've kind of been on this a little bit. I'm not sure. We need to confirm if maybe he's injured, but Dustin Harris was taken out of the game in the 6th inning night before last and did not start last night. Look, this is September 1st is coming up. Some of the guys that are sitting on the end of this bench, if they have a chance, there may be time to look at just cutting bait and going with someone else and looking at some of these kids and moving some people up. All I'm saying is, I don't know if Harris is hurt. He was 2 for 3 at the time when he came out, and Kellen Strom came in and hit another 3 times in the game, but he was the only substitution in the game. He also did not play last night at all. He didn't start. I don't know. Maybe he tweaked something. He tweaked a hamstring, but that's a guy who's been kind of hot lately too. Maybe get him up here and give him some at bats.
Well, he's on the 40-man roster. The 40-man. You need to know about him. You need to know about Justin Foskey, who's been on an absolute heater down there. And so, these are guys that, they're going to be out of, they're going to start running out of their option years. So you need to know. And if they can help you out next year, great. And maybe you showcase them. Maybe you're just out there showcasing them
for something for
maybe
a trade.
They have a great September and you can swing a deal to free up some 40-man room, whatever you got to do.
Well, and my deal with Robbie and Jankowski, who have been amazingly valuable to this team, especially in the World Series run. I like both these guys. They could help a contender off the bench here going into the playoffs. They can't do that unless they're in an organization by September.
Right. August 31st. Got to be
and
there
so
August 31st.
It wouldn't surprise me if there haven't been some conversations with, hey, guys, we got to start looking at this. Maybe we DFA you guys and see if you can catch on somewhere. And it might be good. Robbie Grossman be a good bat off the bench. Jankowski defensively and what he can do on the bases. I mean, let's look at Atlanta, who has had all kinds of outfield trouble with injuries and everything else. I mean, let's be honest there. I don't know this is happening. I'm not predicting it. But there are certainly some guys that you might want to take a look at. That frees up 2 40-man spots. maybe a Blaine Crim can come up here along with Foscue and get a few at bat. Why not? You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Why not do that? Okay, I got my piece out. I don't know what's going on. We'll try to confirm whether there's an injury and get it back to you.
Yeah. And then, just back to the big league side of things, or the guys currently on the roster.
Yeah, that are here now.
Not a lot of, the good news is they won a series against the Pirates. They didn't win it in overwhelming fashion against a team that's also struggling pretty much as the Rangers are. And
yeah, they started out hot too.
Yeah. So, it's going to be a grind, but, along your lines of Harris and Foscue and maybe Krim, there are guys who you're going to want to see. And it's still, you still get to see Corey Seager bat 4 times a game. You still get to see, you're going to get to see Jacob deGrom pitch, because we saw
talk
him
about that
night,
in a second.
He was really, really good. He hit 100 miles per hour once. I think after the first couple hits against him, he said, "Screw this! I'm just going to start throwing my slider." And those guys had no chance against the slider. Poor San Antonio hitters had no chance against it. And
so, it's funny. I was sitting. You went down. I saw where you went down because we just want to get close to watching.
Yeah.
And so, because in the press box we're way up there, but I sat back with Sean Bass from the ticket and what's his name? I forget his. Anyway, we were sitting back there, and so he throws that fastball. And then he threw that changeup, and I'd never seen it before from that angle. And it was because, look, he's hitting 98, 99, 100. He's every time 99, 99, 99. And then he throws 90 miles an hour, and it was that slider, that little curve or slider that he throws 90 miles an hour. And then all of a sudden he throws one that went this way.
Yeah.
And it broke the other way. And I went, was that a changeup? And Sean and I were trying to analyze the pitch, and he goes, I guess it was.
Yeah.
And so Jacob deGrom he said it was after the game.
One goes left, one goes right.
One goes right. And so he was throwing that too. 90 mile an hour changeup.
Yeah.
That goes, that's 10 miles an hour off, which is what kills batters. And
it comes out, the thing with deGrom is it comes out of the same tunnel. All 3 pitches look like a heater until the very end.
Yep.
And so that's what's made him so great. At the bottom of the zone, the ball just disappears.
He looked happy. Gosh.
Yeah, he did. He seemed relieved, relaxed, a good positive first step there. Max Scherzer is not starting tonight.
Yeah.
The shoulder fatigue or nerve issue, whatever it is, he can't get through it right now, or maybe he just needs a couple more days. I'm not sure what it is, but can't count on that one. So, it's just you don't like to see a guy go through things like this, and you hope that he's able to solve it, because he's one of the all-time greats.
Right.
I like having him around, just from a conversational standpoint and talking to him about the game. I don't know that he makes a return next year, but he definitely needs to be, if he wants to continue his career, he needs to pitch the end of this year. The Rangers will respect that, I'm assuming. Sure. So we'll see what happens with him, but deGrom's the one to be excited about right now. I really, he needs to pitch. We talked about it last show. Or if we didn't, he definitely needs to pitch.
Yeah. And he's pitched games, and he wants to. He said it last night.
It's very important to get into the off season. He needs it. The Rangers need it. It's a physical thing. It's a mental thing for him to get into the off season, knowing that he can still pitch in the major leagues, which I don't think he ever had much of a doubt, but I guess there's a little in there. And then he can just treat this like a normal off season instead of trying to, kind of stay in rehab mode. He can now go more into an attack mode where he has a full off season. So.
Right. And then next year, let's be honest, next year, he's not going to pitch 200 innings, but he'll pitch a lot. And they'll just be, and don't freak out, but I know during the year next year, if he's going strong as ever, they're just going to skip a start and go, you know what? We're just going to skip a start, and they're going to, no IL. We don't want, you'll go through your normal progressions, all of that, but we're not going to go 200 innings. And we also need you, if we're on a playoff run, we need you. The playoff run is when we need you.
Yeah,
that's when you need to be going, and that's going to happen. And I'm going to tell you right now, look, he's throwing 99 to 100 miles an hour. We're going to get to it in the bus leagues in a little bit, but there are 2 arms that are finally throwing 99 to 100 miles an hour and that are close.
Yeah.
Anyway, I don't know how that'll go. We'll talk about that in the bus leagues, but for the big league team, the auditions that I think are coming are going to be, I hope we get to see Blaine Crim.
Yeah.
Foscue, we need to get him back up. He's, like you said, he's hot right now. That would be good. I just think there are some guys that it may be time to they need to have Young in the lineup every day. He needs to be getting regular ABs and get back on that progression and get all his ABs. Josh Smith, maybe It'll surprise me if Josh Smith's on this roster next year. I love Josh Smith, but he may have played his way to a deal.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting offseason, but we'll get to that.
That's going to happen in the offseason when we get
episode.
Yep. This has been look, guys. I know that the season's been tough. They win a World Series. We'll talk to Rhadigan's about it, maybe what his opinion of what's going on. I think you and I have talked. It's just basically underperforming on the offense.
Yeah.
Injuries never help. But, I talked to this with Bass last night, and I said, you can't blame this pitching staff. This is a pitching staff that's held teams to about 4 runs or below all season long.
Yeah.
And when you're doing that as a pitching staff, I'm sorry, you expect to win more games.
They definitely did enough. They've definitely done enough.
They did enough to make it. It's just the offense just struggled.
Yeah.
And I think that'll get addressed this offseason.
Yeah.
Well, let's go to Rhadigan.
Let's go to John, brought to you by our good friends at AAA Round Rock.
The guest subject's brought to you by the Round Rock Express. Jeff, what's going on in Round Rock?
Well, it seems like a lot is afoot, but they're in Salt Lake City. They come home on Tuesday, where Jacob DeGrom might make his next outing against Oklahoma City, the Dodgers affiliate. Anyway, $2 Taco Tuesday. Wednesday, pickleball night. You might like that, John.
Yeah.
Thursday, the 29th. It is Thirsty Thursday. Friday, Round Rock Express pennant giveaway. Saturday, Round Rock Donuts bobblehead giveaway. And Sunday, it's Kids Day, as it always is at Dell Diamond. So for more information, go to milb.com/round-rock.
All right, guys, and joining us right now from his home, and I'm not going to tell where it is because I don't need any flyovers or anything like that. You guys know him from Rangers broadcast and just TV. He's been a sportscaster here in the area for a long time. It's John Rhadigan, one of my favorite people. Every time I see him around the ballpark, Rads, what's up, man?
Man, it's great to be on with you guys. We've been talking about doing this for a long time, and I'm thrilled to be here with you guys on the podcast.
Well, we're doing this days before you enter the Silver Circle in the Lone Star Emmys.
Yes.
That's a pretty big honor, John. Wow. I know you don't like talking about this stuff, but that's a pretty big deal.
Yeah, I'm very honored by it, actually. And it's actually, John, it's been super fun going through. I just pulled a bunch of tapes and, from our archives that are they were all on VHS. And I found my very last show in Flint, Michigan, before I moved here in 1990. And then I found several different things that I had done at NBC5. And then I, morphed that tape into things that I've done, all the way through my time at Fox and then Bally and even some very recent stuff. But anyway, man, going down memory lane, it was so cool. I was in Tokyo with the Cowboys. I was in Sydney at the Olympics. I mean, you almost forget about some of the cool stuff we get to do.
Yeah, we do. We do have fun jobs. Dave Raymond was talking about this the other day. He was talking about, we were talking about commiserating about the crappy offense and the slump that the Rangers are in. And then he said, but I don't want any other job. We don't want to do anything else. He was talking about how his son is interning this year at a law firm, and like his son's all excited about it. And Dave's like, great, but not telling him you don't have as great a job as I do.
Yeah.
So
no,
we really are blessed. We get to watch sports for a living. That's it. I mean, you've done it in this market for what, 34, 35 years.
Yeah.
And you've seen some things. You got the Cowboys heyday.
Yep.
Mavs Stars championships, and then last year the Rangers won one finally. So
how about that? Finally
completed the Grand Slam for you.
Got the Grand Slam, and along those lines, real quick, John, along the lines of what Jeff was saying about Dave's comment. When I first got into business, a friend of mine was asked, "Hey, what's it like being a sportscaster?" And he said, "It beats working for a living." And I was like, I like that. I like that. I'll keep using that. So I've used it a lot. And then every time my wife would hear me say, "It beats working for a living," she'd be like, for a guy who doesn't work for a living, you sure are gone a lot. I mean, the nice part is when we're gone, we don't feel like we're working. So
exactly.
And I'm jealous. Look, this is a part-time fun thing for me, side gig deal. So it's not my living. Now I'm very lucky. I've got a very flexible, fun job myself, but being around what y'all do and get paid way more than I do, I'm like, yeah, you guys are really blessed to be able to do this.
I don't know about way more. All right, on the pay front.
I'm talking about compared to what I make doing this.
Okay,
y'all make way more.
Yeah.
I would love to transition this to full time, but I'm blessed to do what I do anyway and get to cover the team. But yeah, you're right. You guys are some lucky son of a guns.
Well, we're in a good market. It's a big market, but it's kind of a laid back market. It's not New York or Philly or Boston. I think that allows us to get to know players a little bit better because they'll let their guard down a little bit. And so it's a real nice combination, and they understand when we have to do our jobs and point out that, boy, John Daniels, you didn't put together a good roster, or Gary Patterson, your defense was horrible today.
Yeah.
So they understand. Gary a little less. That was a bad example. But,
yeah, I was going to say. Yeah.
But they know we're doing our jobs and they let us come back, and so it's just been a nice fit. I think for us to not be jerks and feel compelled to be jerks, and I think at times we can be tough. We can ask the tough questions, but I think that it's just a good market to work in.
Well, that's where you're jealous because I don't have to ask the tough questions. I let y'all ask them.
Yeah. Yeah. And, along your lines, Jeff, we were talking the other day just about how much Jacob deGrom is loving it here, despite the fact that he hasn't been able to pitch much. But he came from New York, and it was just always 400 media guys around him, and they're all antagonistic. And here he's like, yeah, what do you want? I'll do anything you guys want, which is great. You were saying you just sat down. Was it DeGrom you sat down with in the dugout the other day and just chatted?
Yeah, he'd never do that in New York. Never.
Yep. No.
And he pitched at Frisco last night.
We were there.
There were probably 10 media people there. There were 4 cameras and probably 6 to 8 reporters, and he was just totally at ease and laughing and making jokes and
talking about the spread he bought. And
it just wouldn't have happened in New York. So
what did he buy?
What did he buy? Lobster steaks from some place?
Capitol Grill. That was the spread for the AA.
You have to when when a major league guy comes down to do a rehab assignment, you got to take care of everybody.
Especially when he's making $37.5 million. So you don't go to Chili's on that day or Outback. You go all the way.
I tell you, John, you can tell he feels good. He was so happy. He's just like, you can tell he's chomping. Like, man, I am about to be back. He feels good.
Yeah, so it's going to be exciting. I know people are like, oh, he doesn't need a pitch. We just talked about this, but he needs a pitch, guys. So, John, we also talked to Rocker yesterday, and you're going to go out and see him tonight. What are your impressions of him from what you've seen?
Breaking news. He's not going to be there when I get there.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, Oklahoma City. I think. They wouldn't tell me, but are they on the road?
They're in Salt Lake City. So, Salt Lake, huh?
So, that may be where he's headed. They wouldn't tell me for sure, but they had to tell me that we wouldn't have the opportunity to do the prearranged interview. And we kind of knew it, didn't we, after that last outing? I mean, was dominant. It was dominant. And we, the pitching coach there talks about how he is a bully on the mound. He's so much better than the opposition, right? I mean, you don't hear that sort of phrase very often from a pitching coach at any level. And you don't see that very often from a pitcher at any level where he is, and I didn't see those outings and that one in particular, but it sounds like he was truly a man among boys in the outing. And truly the numbers he put up, Jeff and John, were at the AA level were unbelievable. I mean, you can't do that for, 19 plus innings or whatever it was.
Yep. Yeah. You just expect at some point that you're going to, these are AA hitters. This isn't low A. This isn't high A where they're up there. These are the guys that get here and above. They say it's the biggest jump from high A to AA because these guys are more patient. They're more selective and all of that. And he overpowers with the fastball. He's got an unbelievable slider that he throws on him. He says he throws a couple of Cutter. He said we talked to him yesterday that he hadn't used
because he hasn't had
to. He hasn't had to
Wow.
use it.
Yeah.
That tells you something about that. But well, that's interesting, John. I think we all thought that a move was imminent, as you said. Somebody told me that it was like child's play. These guys, he was just toying with them. And yeah, I mean, if he needs to get better, he needs to use all of his pitches. He needs to, go a little deeper in games. That'll help. But the thing is, he's been so efficient. He's been getting his outs within his pitch count, and so he might need a little bit of a test. And I think this kind of puts him on a faster track for Arlington too. I don't know if he makes the team out of spring training next year, but
and I don't think with the roster spots being so limited and having to audition, he's not going to go up this year either.
Yeah, I don't think they.
No.
Yeah,
it's not the call. It's not the call ups like they used to be either. It used to be they'd call up 10, 12 guys, and now you don't. You're limited on how many you can call up, which is not a bad thing necessarily. Is it 2 now? Yeah.
Yeah, one player, one pitcher.
Yeah, one position player, one pitcher.
So it'll probably be lighter. I would think will be the.
Yep.
And I think the roster is going to get cleaned up here a little bit. I mean, I like Robbie Grossman a lot, but would you rather see? I don't know. Justin Foscue getting his at-bats against left-handers. And Foscue's killing it right now. So anyway.
And interesting when you mentioned lighter, Jeff, because these two, if he really does go to the AAA level, which I think is where he's headed, they're going to be back in the same rotation like they were at LSU. Now this week they pitched on the same day. I guess they're not going to be able to do that anymore unless one of them moves to the bullpen. But and Jack has done so much better since he took some time off. Just one of those, he had his struggles at the big league level, came down, was doing better. Then they still gave him one of those breathers that were unheard of back in the day. And now, since then, he's pitched a lot better, and he was real good last time out. Jeff.
Yeah, he's still. We can hear Jeff because of where the audio's coming in from. He's having a little bit of trouble, so just keep going. If worst case, we'll put a picture of him up. But I tell you another thing, Jeff, too, is that now this is a rumor I've heard. When he gets to Round Rock, I heard he might be going to Round Rock, Rocker. But when he gets there, Jack may not be in Round Rock.
Well, I mean, there's a lot of stuff going on. I mean, am I here? I'm here.
Yeah.
This is the time of the year the Rangers have declared themselves. Essentially,
this is the time of the year the Rangers have declared themselves.
Mute yourself.
Essentially,
they've essentially declared themselves out of it. Bruce Bochy has said, "I've got to manage a little differently." And there are guys that don't need to be on the roster, and Jack Leiter probably does. I think there's still time for him though to make another start before September 1st. Because he would pitch again next Wednesday, which would give him 4 days rest before the rosters expand. Now, if they want him up at the expense of, I don't know, our good friend Walter Pennington, then maybe they could do that. But or maybe they need him to start. John Gray can only go a few innings his first time out this weekend, so maybe they want to piggyback Jack Leiter at Cleveland. I don't know, but. And then if Scherzer isn't going to be able to pitch next week in Chicago because Scherzer got scratched, then he's got to. There's an opening maybe for Jack to start at against the White Sox, a terrible White Sox team. Build his confidence a little.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I was so excited to go up there to Frisco. I'm still going to go up to Frisco and talk to some of the top prospects in the organization. But I was so excited to go up there and talk to Rocker. And then to watch Max Scherzer pitch, and then I just kept hearing wah wah wah.
Well, make sure you talk to Mitch Bratt. He pitched last night.
He's on my
Scherzer.
list. Yep,
he's a great kid. Canadian.
How is he?
Just turned 21 in July.
Jeff left. I stayed. I only stayed a couple of innings, but he was good. He was shut out when the two that I saw.
Yeah.
I don't know where he ended. I know the Rough Riders ended up winning 3 or 4-1, I believe, or something like that. But he was shut out the couple innings that I saw. Look good.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's good, and they aren't going to solve the problems of the major league team. I don't know what is.
Get Teodo because Cardoza can translate for him.
He is. Yep, I've got that one set too, and then see who else is there. But have you guys interviewed Teodo yet?
Teodo, he doesn't.
Yeah,
with a translator, yes. He's very engaging. You can tell his answers in Spanish are very enthusiastic and thoughtful.
Makes it a lot better. Yep.
Yeah, he has. I don't know. He doesn't really have. Santos is more straightforward and short answers. Abby Ortiz is another good guy. He's probably one of the hottest hitters in the minor leagues right now.
Yeah.
His English is okay, but he would need a translator.
Osuna's pretty.
I don't know about Osuna. Osuna's a nice player, though.
Yeah, he's been tearing it up since he's been up there.
Cody Freeman's great. Cody Freeman is a fun guy to talk to.
We've had him on, and what's his name that's playing first base last night?
Josh Hatcher.
Who have both done pretty well up there. We've had them on. We do a minor league show too. So
anyway, and Carlos is great. I don't know if you know Carlos Cardoza. He's fantastic, the manager. So.
Yeah, I haven't. I've met him, but I don't really know him that well. So, but he'll be translating. I know for sure on the Teodo interview. So
he goes out of his way to help you out if you need it. I mean, he is fantastic.
Yeah.
I think he's a future big leaguer. Okay, so let's do this. We got you on here to do this, to talk about the big league club. That's why we're here, to talk about the Rangers. What do you think is the issue? This is a World Series team. I think this is still a World Series caliber talented team. What happened this year?
It's, we've talked about it so much to this point in the season. And obviously it is definitely a combination of things that were certainly spurred somewhat by injuries in the pitching staff. But the confounding part is and has been the inability to hit. At the beginning of the year, it was like, and they started out of the gate okay, but at the beginning of the year, we're like, offense comes and goes. Offense will come. Don't worry at all. That's, you got to be good at pitching and defense. Offense comes and goes. And we just kept waiting for it to come and waiting for it to come. And Jeff and I were talking about this the other day. Even when they had that little stretch there right before the All-Star break where they got back to within 2.5 or 3 games of first place, and we all got pretty hopeful, and they were playing better. They were winning more. Granted, 4 of those were against the White Sox, but still, they were doing a good job and playing better. But it still wasn't that offense that we're used to seeing from this group from last year. And so what do you point to? Well, I mean, obviously you point a little bit to Jonah Heim, but clearly Jonah had a career year last year and, has not been able to duplicate that this year, has fallen sort of back to his number, if you will. And then Adolis, obviously Adolis's production is way down. He's been better of late, but, and I think there is something to Jeff, and you're around them a lot more than me, but I do believe his enthusiasm, especially when he's going well, is so infectious, right? That it fills the whole room and everybody goes to the field feeling better about themselves and feeling confident and happy because Adolis is doing so well. And it's natural that he's not that way right now because he's not hitting in particular as well as what he hopes to and what he's used to.
Well, if you take a look at the postseason, obviously he was one of the best players in the world. I mean, he really was. And then he comes out spring training, didn't do much in spring training, so there are some concerns, but then he had a real nice April.
Yeah.
And so maybe he was, filled with confidence, like, hey, I'm going to be an all-star again, MVP, whatever. And then May hit and he couldn't handle it. He couldn't hit and he just couldn't get out of it. And he has a little bit here this month, but it's still not, it's just still not right. He doesn't look the same at the plate. You can tell he's working on things, trying stuff. And if you're in your head like that, it's just not going to work. But, he's under contract for next year. Maybe he just needs an off season to clear his head. I think he's hurt a little bit. You can kind of tell his gait.
His gait in the outfield is not great.
Yeah. He's catching balls and then like hobbling after he catches them. And probably looks like I would if I caught a ball out there, so I hope the offseason does him good.
Yeah, I think the good news on that front is that, remember when he first got called up, he was on fire, all-star, going crazy, and then, man, fell off the table in the second half of that season. And then obviously has been able to come back from that. And clearly, okay, that was his rookie year. So part of that is pitchers adjusting to him and him having to make those adjustments back. But part of it was simply mental, right? Yeah. These guys all have the talent. They all have the skill. And so when they fall off like this, they know, we know, everybody knows it's mental. And that is an inexact science, right? Trying to get somebody's head right again. And he was able to in an off season and has then, since then become what he is. And so hopefully, to your point, Jeff, if he has a great offseason and he comes back, I mean, I don't feel like we have to look at this like, oh, this is who he's going to be now, because he's shown before some peaks and valleys in what he's displayed on the field.
Yeah. I mean, he's a career 250 hitter, 240, 250. That was even coming into this season. Last year might have been his career year, 39 homers, 708 RBIs, and then the big postseason. So, they are what they are on the back of their baseball cards at the end of the day, as the saying goes. And you're seeing that from some of these guys. Yeah. But to win a World Series, guys have to have career years. I mean, you have to have a couple of them. And
you get a lot of breaks that go your way. That happens too. A lot of things fall your way. I tell you one thing too, and it's my one little small knock maybe on CY just a little bit. I think they put they just kind of thought Langford and Carter are going to be two guys that will perform well enough this year to kind of be that back end of the lineup and do that. And of course, Carter dealt with the injuries, and even when he was healthy, wasn't quite what he was. And Langford, I kept trying to say, tap the brakes. This is a rookie coming in. And you got to understand, I don't care how well he was killing the ball at AAA last year at the end of the year and in AA when he was there, he's still going to go to the best pitchers in the world, and they make adjustments at the big league level, and they will find a weakness, and they will exploit it, and then he's got to adjust. And, of course, we've seen he's pretty consistent. He's getting better as he's going, but everybody expected him to hit 280 with 25 home runs and have 80 RBIs, and I'm like, man, this is a full-blown rookie this year. Just got to be patient.
Jeff and I talked about both of these guys a little bit yesterday, and it reminds me of the old Bill Parcells line when Romo was first coming up or somebody young, and Bill Parcells goes, "Hey, let's don't induct him into the Hall of Fame yet." He really hadn't done anything yet. He looks great, but let's don't put him in the Hall of Fame. And I think you're right, John. People were ready to put Wyatt Langford into the Hall of Fame, or just, it's April 5th. Let's hand him the Rookie of the Year trophy. Yeah. Oh, wait, we might not be able to because Evan Carter might win it, right? And neither one of them are really, obviously, for obvious reasons, Evan's not. And Wyatt, is not in the conversation much for that. So, it's baseball, man. It's a difficult thing. And I think the thing I've loved, and I don't know if we got to this yesterday, Jeff, but the thing I've loved is Wyatt Langford's quality of at-bats has remained pretty consistent and pretty good. On those days when they get 3 hits, he might have 1 or 2 of them, and each of his at-bats is super competitive, whereas sometimes it seems like there are fewer competitive at-bats in a game like that.
Yeah. Well, that's part of the thing with him, too, that I've said all along. Well, he hasn't performed. He's a rookie. And then people are like, well, does he need to go down? Well, he doesn't look lost at the plate. He does not look overmatched at the plate. He's just a guy that's got to get his swing path going and adjust, and that's what he's got to do.
Well, and every team he's faced for the first time this year, he's never seen any of the pitchers. That puts the pitchers at a distinct advantage. This Pirate series, hadn't seen any of them. All right. So, it's tough, and at the end he got the game-winning hit, and hey, give you a little feel good going into the off day and into this weekend series. So,
all good.
They won a series. They won a series for the first time.
They did that too.
How about
shocker.
that?
Yeah, they won 2 in a row. Actually, I mean that's only happened a few times all year. Well, John, listen, we're going to get you out of here. We can't thank you enough. It's always great seeing you around there and joining us. We're going to have you on multiple more times. It's always fun to do that and join with us.
John, I think I'm going to be seeing a lot more of you too. So
we might.
You can't say why, but you will.
Stay tuned for that one, guys.
These conversations that we keep referencing, Jeff and I may be having more and more of those on in the very near future, and it's super exciting. I can't wait until we can sort of pull back the curtain and let everybody see what we're doing.
Yeah.
So it's going to be
great.
it's going to be cool. Yeah.
We've kind of hinted that things around here might be changing a little bit, and we haven't quite been there yet. John, it's great to see you, bud. Can't wait to see you around. We're going to get you on again.
Yeah,
my pleasure, guys.
Welcome to the Rangers Today Baseball Podcast with Jeff Wilson. I'm John Moore. We're here once again with One Rangers Way. It's Nicole Sonker and Scott Seeley, and we're going to talk to them. Hey,
we're Nicole.
Yeah. If you're confused, Nicole's on the far right over there, and Scott's next to me. Listen, we want to bring them back. We're doing this partnership with them. You guys have seen the ads that we've been running, but we're further along now. It's time to talk about some new stuff with this thing. We're going to get into first of all, Scott, what is One Rangers Way? Tell them what it is.
Yeah, so One Rangers Way is a brand new luxury apartment community going live in the Arlington Entertainment District. So you are steps from 3 iconic stadiums, Globe Life Field, AT&T, and Choctaw Stadium. So you are in the heart of all the action here. So brand new leasing apartments for you as well.
Yeah. And these are really close, Jeff. We sit there. What do you always say? It's a five.
I say it's a par 5 away from the north doors at Globe Life Field. I think it's a par 5.
Yeah, so you're actually roughly 400 steps from the doors of the north entrance to the corner of our property. So a really quick jaunt for you.
Yeah, no, that's great. And we last time we did this, we talked about all the stuff that you guys offer. And of course, the pet stuff really hit me pretty good because we love pets. But just talk about some of those amenities. I mean, we've mentioned them on our show, but I think it sounds better coming from the pro here.
Yeah. I'm going to pass that one to Nicole. I think she's going to be great at this one. Yeah.
Well, I love talking about our amenities. We have an incredible amenity package, 43,000 square feet, and it is super ultra luxe resort style amenities. So your pool with a swim up bar, a meditation and Zen garden. We've got co-working space, conference space, but above and beyond the physical amenities is the lifestyle. I mean, really the proximity, where we're located is an amenity in and of itself. So you are steps away from a date night, steps away from a Rangers or a Cowboys game, steps away from co-working at Spark. Really just centrally located here in the center of it all. And then to bring everything together, we have a dedicated lifestyle team who will curate monthly resident events for you and who will also ensure that you're having a really personalized living experience.
Yeah, not to forget as well, but we're 24/7 desk attendant. You're going to have someone home. Every day you walk through the door, you're going to have a smiling face greeting you, a private secure parking garage, and all the amenities that Nicole knocked out of the park there. So, yeah.
So how are sales going? I mean, are leasing going? I don't know, sales, leasing, whatever it is. It seems like it's probably picking up.
Interest has been extraordinary. Yeah. I mean, spend a day in the office with us and hear how often the phone rings for us. So, I mean, how could it not be with our, obviously unique proposition of location being so close to these stadiums and all the luxurious amenities Nicole just hit out of the park there. And so it just really brings the next evolution of the Arlington Entertainment District with folks living in the heart of it. And every day they're in the middle of the action, not directly next to it. They are here every single day and living that entertainment lifestyle.
Did the All-Star game help you guys? Did you get some more attention with all the people that were here?
We blew it out for All-Star, man. We showed up. We definitely got a lot of attention. And we had opened this model unit that we're sitting in early June. Yeah. So it was great timing to be able to welcome, because we saw not just Rangers fans, but baseball fans from across the country. And we were able to send them up to our model home, show them around, and really talk to everybody about One Rangers Way. So, I mean, momentum has been pretty exciting.
Yeah, and you mentioned the date nights. there's like all kinds of restaurants. I mean, you got Texas Live, but you have the New Mexican place that's opening up. You're not far from the main drag down there on what is that, Collins and stuff that's there. I mean, it's like primo spot.
We're really centrally located, so very easy to drive. And the date nights that I like are the ones that put me on a plane and take me somewhere tropical. We're 15 minutes away from DFW.
Right.
We'll make sure my husband listens to this one.
Yeah. Kathy's listening to this too, I guarantee you.
Wink,
Oh,
wink.
man. Yeah, Kathy knows. We've got her back on this. Scott and I have dined at Soy Cowboy a handful of times because it's incredible, and that just opened up new. So we're giving an experience too, between the Rangers and the Lowe's and everything that's around here. This is something that's really unique and not found anywhere else in the DFW area. So it's not just Arlington that is benefiting from this. It's people, coming from 30 minutes, an hour in all directions.
Well, yeah. And Arlington is the center of Dallas and Fort Worth, and this is the entertainment district now. Everything that's new and fun to do, Six Flags is right down the street. I mean, a lot of people that come to DFW for vacations come to Arlington because of what all they can go to Ranger games, they can go to Six Flags, and you're only 25 minutes each way. You're going to downtown Dallas or you're going there.
Yeah.
This is amazing to me that you can come look at a model, because you can come around here. We're in Texas Live right now. We're upstairs at Texas Live to see that. So the location of this is what's amazing.
Yeah. I mean, we are steps from the building here in our full-size model. So we are in an apartment. The Ballpark 3 is going to be the floor plan here we're in. And we're really excited. Not only has this model allowed us to showcase all of our beautiful finishes and vinyl plank floors, soft close cabinets and doors, but this model is going to actually end up over in the building. October timeframe, we're planning on opening up. So then we can allow residents and future residents to come in and touch and feel and really get that experience from start to finish.
Yeah, I mean, this is nice.
Yeah.
I mean, I walked around. The bathroom blew me away. The bathroom's
That
fantastic.
big mirror, beautiful
Holy
lighting,
crap.
built-in linen shelving.
Yeah.
You feel like you're walking into a spa. I mean, we have oversized showers. You're at 3 feet wide, 6 feet long. Ceiling, the floor, the tiles are going to go all the way to the ceiling for you. It gives you that spa experience the second you walk into it.
And then you've got the washer dryer hookups.
Washer and dryer comes included.
Yeah, the washer and dryer
with
included,
the home.
Full size as well, not just your apartment size. Your traditional Samsung washer dryers are going to get in your house.
Yeah, these are big front loads.
Yeah. They've got beer in the fridge too.
That's always
We have a fully stocked fridge.
That's right. That's a good amenity.
Yeah.
Okay, so we did this in August. It's August now. It's picking up. You said October is the next phase, I guess, if you will. But you guys are, like you said, phone's ringing. You're booking people.
There is no need to wait. Right now is the best time to reach out. You're going to have your best pricing. You're going to have our best availability. And obviously you get a unique experience to come through and take a look at the model and have some unique advantages from securing early. So onerangersway.com will allow you to book an appointment, even directly apply for an apartment, check out our interactive map, all of our digital assets. So now is the time. Yes, you're right, Jeff.
And the reason as somebody that's in property management also at my day job, the reason that is when you come here and you book your new apartment, you have to give notice where you are now. Some of those apartments require 60, 90 days. You need to be out ahead of it so you know, okay, my apartment at One Rangers Way, because I'm going to get one, is going to be available when their first move-in is going to be.
Yeah, so we're really excited to welcome our first move-ins January 12th of 2025.
Oh,
so
man.
It is going to be here in a heartbeat.
Well, you're going to have to be leaving notice probably at an apartment within the next 30 to 60 days.
Yeah.
Honestly, if you get one of those first ones. So
yeah, and what's better than obviously knowing where you're going, but knowing that you're the first person to ever live in this brand new luxury apartment.
Yeah, no kidding.
Knowing
How
that no
awesome
one's
is that?
touched your countertops and cabinets and lived in these spaces, it is just such a cool experience that you have.
Yeah, that's great.
I mean, our Rangers fans have really gotten sort of first dibs
God.
on the apartments thus far. We know football season is upon us.
Yeah.
It is
It's
here.
already preseason, and Texas Live is going to be swarming with Dallas Cowboys fans. And I think that we're going to see a lot of interest from them as well.
Yeah,
Well,
so don't wait. Step on the
Don't
gas.
wait,
Get your
Rangers
butt over here.
fans.
So next plan for us in October, we're coming back.
We're coming back. Looking forward to it.
Are we going to be over at the new property? Is that where we're going to be at, or what do you
The
think?
new model.
Yeah, that's the plan. Hopefully, we're going to be able to experience this inside the building. We'll get to show you guys kind of behind the scenes on some of the amenities and the construction.
That's awesome.
But yeah, we're really excited as the building continues to move right along in between kind of the brand new Lowe's Hotel and Medal of Honor. So again, we are steps from our current location here in Texas Live. This model we're in now is above Troy's inside Texas Live. So swing on by, and if the doors are open, we're here to show you around.
Yeah,
and you can grab a beer in the fridge.
There you go.
There you go.
Medal of Honor Museum, the Art Museum. I mean, this is the place to be.
It's not just entertainment and cult. It's a cultural element to it as well. Concerts, sports, dining, spa. I don't know if I mentioned that last time. Still loving the spa at the Lowe's.
There's a brand new KZ boot store that's opening up in Choctaw. There's also a dry goods store. So there's more than just sports and entertainment here.
This is great. Yeah,
you've got to drive down to this area and check out what all's going on here. If you haven't been to a Ranger game this year, or if you're planning on coming to a Cowboy game, or even what Arkansas A&M play over here at AT&T. I mean, there's lots of stuff going on. Drive around this area. If you are a young couple, or you're single, or even if maybe you're empty nester, now you got no more kids in the house, this is a place to come stay in the middle of all of this right here. I am thoroughly stoked. I'm impressed with what I'm seeing.
Well, thank you. And we're so happy to be here. And it's really anyone and everyone. We have floor plans ranging from studios all the way up to 2-bedroom, 2.5-bath penthouses. So we're seeing interest from families as well. Sports fans, people who are using it as, a secondary home, a weekend home. Mm-hmm. And I've been telling everyone that I don't care if you're not interested in renting, come by and see this, because it's not like anything you've seen. And
that's cool.
You're like my mom, who's moving into her first apartment since college. She was blown away by, what we're doing in the apartment industry. So,
and if you're not interested, somebody is.
Yes,
so
someone.
Come by and get your eyeballs on it and spread the word.
Yeah, we love it.
Well, chances are, if you are a sports fan in the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex, at some point, someone is going to invite you to something at this property, and you're going to be over there doing it. You've got to come check this thing out. It is. I'm glad we partnered with them, because I was kind of like, what is it when you were first telling me about it? Now I'm like, I should get a commission. I'm going to sell these.
Hey, we can talk.
Yeah.
Guys, it's one Rangers Way, again, right here down the street from all the stuff in Arlington. Anything else we need to hit on?
No, just live like a champion in One Rangers Way.
Live like a champion. Visit us, onerangersway.com. Follow us on Instagram at onerangersway. Come see Scott.
Yep. How to get a hold of you, Scott?
Yeah, so onerangersway.com. Book a tour right from there. You can jump in our golf cart. We do a little neighborhood tour, drive around the community, and give you the full experience. So give us a call or reach out directly from our website.
Hey, DM Jeff or I also, if you're interested and you couldn't remember all of this stuff, we will definitely hook you up with Scott for sure to get you over here. It's One Rangers Way. This has been fun. I look forward to October.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Thank you, guys.
Down in the Bus League's brought to you by the Frisco Rough Riders. Jeff, what's going on in Frisco?
Well, as we've established, they are at home for the weekend. No Max Scherzer tonight, but there's still reasons to go out there to see some good ball. Speaking of tonight, it is Classic TV night at Riders Field, so that's cool. Baseball in Paradise night, Saturday the 24th. Touch a Truck presented. Touch a Truck on Sunday, and it's Kids Sunday Fun Day as always out there. And then they don't come home again until Labor Day. They play Labor Day 6:05 Military Appreciation Night and post-game fireworks. So they're home that whole week against Wichita. So for more information, go to milb.com/Frisco.
All right, a big thanks to John Rhadigan for joining us there. Now it's time to go down in the Bus Leagues. As always, we're going to start at the top of the level, go all the way down. The only ones not playing anymore are the Arizona Complex League or the ACL. Everyone else is still going, and a lot of good things happening at every level as far as there are some good players to go see right now, promotions that are happening. Let's go to Round Rock. Round Rock is 23-24 in the second half. They're 5-5 in their last. They did lose their last one, but they have a new starting pitcher.
Yeah, Kumar Rocker is on his way to join them this weekend in Salt Lake. He's obviously not going to pitch, but it looks like he will be pitching next week in Round Rock. So exciting time for that young man. We talked to him yesterday. And, and then he's going to take the spot potentially of Jack Leiter, who is on his way to the major leagues. With Max Scherzer being hurt, the Rangers need a starter for next week. So it just will line up for him to slide right in there on the road against a shitty White Sox team. So maybe things will fall in line. But I mean, it looks like his last 2 starts have just been fabulous with 20 strikeouts and
Oh my gosh,
just
look great.
just crushing it. Speaking of crushing it, Justin Foscue is on a heater right now. He's got his OPS up to 923. Blaine Krim is over 800 as he always is. It was just a matter of time. And Sam Huff actually had a home run here recently, breaking a long skid for him. Tough year, but hopefully he can finish strong. He's got an opportunity to make the team next year at opening day. He's out of options, so a lot to watch at Round Rock, including apparently the Rock, John Rocker, Jesus Christ, Kumar Rocker.
Kumar Rocker is going to be there. Yeah. And last night Adrian Sampson had another decent game up there. That guy he's serving a great purpose by being in that rotation in AAA, even if he doesn't have a spot to come up, and he's not going to probably come up this year. Those guys are valuable. Mike Bassick was that guy at the end of his career. He would be in AAA in a rotation and start and give him 5-6 innings every time and fill a spot. You make a lot more money in the AAA than you do anywhere else. But last night he went 6 innings, and I think he only gave up a run.
And he's such a good guy.
He really
is a good guy. So
he went overseas, right? Played in Japan or Korea.
I think for a little bit. Yeah, I don't remember. Anyway.
Let's go to Double-A. Frisco Rough Riders are 26-22, 3-7 in their last 10. They have won their last couple of games. Last night we were out there and saw them play. Same guys hitting the ball that they always have. Osuna has been unbelievable since he's got called up. Hatcher's been good. Freeman's been good.
Their hottest hitter is Abby Ortiz, though. He batted 500 last week. I talked to him a little bit yesterday. He's still doing a great job with his English. He said he's finally found a comfort zone at the plate. Said he started okay, and then we all know he really struggled in the middle of the year, but right now is the best he's felt at the plate. And the numbers are still pretty pedestrian, but if you look at what he's done here the last 3 weeks to a month, it's really turned around for him. So good for him. Cooper Johnson, the catcher, has had a lot of big home runs here lately. He's up to 11. Cody Freeman. This team, really all the Rangers minor leaguers don't hit the ball out of the ballpark for whatever reason this year. Cody Freeman played second base last night. The guy gets around. He's got 43 extra base hits, 28 doubles in there. Good for him. We like the kid a lot. He's been on our show multiple times.
Mitch Bratt pitched last night.
Mitch Bratt pitched. He pitched well. Of course, Teodo's been very, very good. I would expect that he gets a promotion at some point this year. And our buddy Dane Acker just cruising along with a 3.24 ERA. It looks like he's kind of righted the ship. Not that the ship was ever off course.
He started bad. Yeah,
some things that he needed to tighten up, and everything looks good. So good for
with Rocker going up. Who do you think's got a chance to come up from?
Well, I think Cole Drake has been called up from Hickory.
Okay, yeah.
I think he has been Rosario had a great start the other night. I don't know, maybe he does.
Still needs a few more there, but yeah,
he was right behind Drake. So I don't know. I mean, it's
well, if Teodo goes up, maybe that's the next guy.
I mean, these guys need a challenge, and they are college pitchers, Drake and
right.
Rosario.
Yeah, they're not 18, 19 years old.
It looks like they figured some things out, and it's not like the Rangers are cranking out pitchers right now. The development, there's a big gap behind really Rocker, Leiter, Teodo. I still put Acker in that group, but that's you have these young guys who are in their first year in the system, like Rosario, Drake. It's his second year, but you still are like, well, all right, what do we got? So maybe they step on the gas a little bit with these guys and move them along, but. So Rosario will move to Hickory because we can talk about Rosario a little more.
Yeah, exactly. Let's go down to the Hickory Crawdads. Hickory Crawdads are the high A squad. In fact, they're going to be low A next year. We keep reminding people of that. The Down East Wood Ducks will be no longer. They will be moved. from Kinston. The new team's coming in. Who is it going to be?
Spartanburg, the Hub City Spartanburgers.
Right,
It's
and they're
right
gonna,
there in South Carolina.
They will be the high A team next year. Hickory has always been low A until this year, and they will move back down. So Hickory Crawdads are 27-24, 5-5 in their last 10. They've won their last couple of games. A couple of guys there that are on the verge, like you just talked about, that might be coming up to Frisco. I'd like to see Cam Colley eventually get here. He's kind of at that age. I don't know. I mean, you're going to have some stuff ahead of you move up.
Yeah.
If that means some guys at the AAA level either get released or get moved up into the big leagues. We've talked about a few of those in the big league segment, which when that happens, other people tend to make their way back up. So maybe I'd like to see Cam go. I don't know. There's some other guys down there that are hitting well.
I think the big question is, do you give Walcott a promotion? And
that would be a young AA promotion, but man,
yeah,
that would put some eyes on him. There'll be a lot of people out there to go watch him play.
Well, and does it? He's going to be there next year, so do you just call him up and the high season is going to end, and Frisco's going to be in the postseason. I think they have a chance to host a game. They could host a game September 19th.
Sure.
And then if that's a best of 3 series, and if third game's necessary, they would host the 20th as well. So, but anyway, so Walcott, who's been great. Rosario last time out, 2 hits and 5 scoreless innings, 9 strikeouts, no walks. We mentioned his numbers at low A. Well, his high numbers are just pretty much the same. He's got a 252 ERA at Hickory. It was less than that. It was what was it at
is he still double digit?
Down east, it was 211.
He's got double digit bombs, right? Is that 10, 12, something?
No, we're talking. I meant to say Rosario. I don't know what I said. Anyway, 54 strikeouts at high A, 7 walks in 35 and 2/3 innings.
Walcott?
No, I'm talking about Rosario.
Okay,
about Rosario.
Okay.
Rosario, 69 strikeouts, 5 walks at down east. So he's replicating his success. He has not allowed a home run at Hickory. So I mean, this guy probably deserves a chance, and maybe he does show up. I mean, he's 22. Show up at Frisco, he's 22.
You don't think Walcott then will come up?
I don't know. I mean, if Walcott were to come into the postseason, if the Rangers want him to experience postseason baseball, then hey, maybe they do it. But I don't know.
Okay.
We'll see. We'll see. I know a lot of people want him to come up.
Yep, a lot of people would love to see him. Let's go down to low A. We are going to go down to low A. It is the Down East Wood Ducks. The Down East Wood Ducks are 22-24. They're 2-8 in their last 10. Guys, they've lost 5 in a row.
Yeah, they've cooled off. They've won 10 in a row. And now they've lost 5 in a row. Again, the byproduct of being a young team. And they lost. They didn't lose. I mean, David Davalillo got promoted, so good for him. He had a nice debut at Hickory. Still some guys that names that we've been talking about all year, like Jose Gonzalez, and now some of the newer guys who finished up in Arizona. Jose De Jesus, Yeremy Cabrera, Pablo Guerrero, guys who you've heard of, international signings the last few years. This is them kind of growing up, and it's kind of fun to see. And they're all having varying levels of success. Cabrera is probably the one who hasn't gotten off to the better start in low A, but still a lot to like there. And you'll be seeing these guys, a lot of them in Hickory last year. Some of them will start in Down East, like the 3 guys we just mentioned. So, or not Down East, it'll be Hickory. Dadgummit. Just stay the same. Stop moving. So anyway, they'll be promoted or they'll start at the same levels.
Okay, so the ACL, we know that they're done. The DCL, how much longer are they playing?
I don't know.
They're only playing a few games because I noticed the record only goes up 3 or 4 games every week. The red team, again, has been probably one of the best teams in all of minor league baseball. They're 39-17. They're 8-2 in their last 10. They've lost 1. The blue team is 26-28. They're 2-8 in their last 10. They've lost 1, so they've kind of struggled. They took off really hot and then they've kind of fallen back. But those guys got to be coming up on the end, I would think, especially this month.
I think they're in the playoffs.
Yeah, both of them are, right?
No, but I think the league is in the playoffs.
They're not. Maybe they are in the playoffs.
I think the red team is actually playing in the playoffs today. As I rack my brain and come up with this stuff. Okay. So anyway, yeah, and we know these names. Again, Paulino Santana is the big one, and he's had a nice year. I mean, I know he hasn't hit the ball out of the park like maybe people thought he would, but he's still having a good year. Curly Martha, who was really the guy who was signed after him. Like, Santana got the biggest bonus. Curly Martha got the second highest bonus, and he has been hitting the ball at the ballpark. He's been batting third for that team.
Yeah.
So, there are talented guys. There are so many players down there. I mean, that's why they have two teams. These rosters are huge. And so, you're just trying to figure out what's going to make it off, and they think that, this is where scouting comes in. You're signing guys nowadays when they're like 13 and 14. You're making agreements with them, not signing them, but reaching agreements with them, getting them into your program.
You have a handshake. And
getting them into your development program. So especially with pitchers, so that when they hit the organization, when they get 16 and they can sign, then that's when you can,
right.
But it's a process. I mean, how do you know what a 13-year-old is going to be? Well, that's why you have scouts. You might see a guy.
13's puberty's hitting right there, but then the guys will explode. And then there are some people that reach the height and weight they are when they're 14 years old. They never grow anymore.
I mean, and you'll see guys that are might be throwing 80 with their fastball, but they have a slider with a 2,500 spin rate. And you're like, you can project velocity based on that because of the hand action and just things like that goes into the scouting world that really I don't have any clue about, just things that these guys see. So but yeah, the big names, the ones you put your money into, they're the ones you want to know. And then they're all doing pretty good.
Yeah. Well, listen, it has been a great show. We've had John Rhadigan on here. Next week, guys, I got to tell you, a lot of stuff we're going to be talking about, and it's going to be new stuff is what we're going to be talking about.
Yeah, and it's going to be good.
It's good things, big things that are happening. And I think maybe I'll give you a hint. You're not seeing Odyssey there anymore, but that's this is a new big thing that's coming into Dallas-Fort Worth. We're excited about it. We can't wait for it. And until then, I guess you and I get this one off. Sorry for any technical difficulties. We've had some Wi-Fi issues here where we're at. Still going to stay in the studio maybe for our stuff right now, but we'll get that handled. But, hey, till next week, right?
See you at the yard.
Yeah, for Jeff Wilson, I'm John Moore, and until we come back next week with maybe a new banner, who knows? Guys, we'll see you at the yard.